Hi, this is Aloha, and I want to show you today how to add a texture layer to your photo. Now, why would you want to add a texture layer to your photo? I usually add a texture layer to my photo if I would like to add some drama. Usually a texture photo can give you a little bit of depth or the illusion of depth, and it also helps you with contrast. The other reason I would want to add a texture to a photo is to enhance the focus or the center focus on the subject. So here's my photo. It's a photo that was used in an ad at a magazine here in Bangkok. And I have my texture ready. This is a texture from Joey L. I did buy his DVD when he first released it a few years ago. And you can see that the orientation of the photo isn't really how I want it to be, so I'm going to rotate it. Like that. And basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to paste this texture onto this photo. So simply just select all or Apple A and then copy and then go to the photo and then paste. So as you can see, the layer is on top of our photo. Now what I want to do is to experiment with some blending modes. So you go to this layer window over here and then you can pick any of these blending modes. So I'm going to try overlay, soft light, hard light. Now what I'm trying to do here is to see which blending mode I prefer. And I think I really like the soft light, but I'm going to have to adjust the opacity of this layer because the full opacity 100% is just too dark. So what I'd like to do is to have this vignetting that's happening at the edges here, and then to have this kind of dramatic contrast that's happening because of the texture layer on the photo itself, on the subject. So I'm right about at 78%, and I'll just leave it at that. But what I'd like to do is to add a layer mask so that I can brush away the texture on the person. Now let's zoom in a little bit and see that adding a texture in with this technique gives you some kind of weird skin disease effect on the skin of our subject. So what I'd like to do with the layer mask is to remove that by brushing it away. So I'm going to go over here to add a layer mask, and you can see I've added that layer mask there. And I'm going to go to my brush tool, change the opacity to 100%, and just apply, brush away the texture from the skin. So it's important that you use a soft brush when you're working with skin, because what it does is that it allows you to work with a very soft fall off. Fall off is the edge of the brush and how it affects the things that it touches. So I'm just brushing away the texture from the skin here. Right? It's kind of just like painting, you know, like when you're doing watercolors, you can just paint over parts of the watercolor painting to kind of add layer to it. So here I'm brushing away texture from her feet. Okay, now I'm going to zoom out. So you can see that there is still some texture on her dress because I haven't removed it. Now if I were doing this for a client, the client would not want the texture to interfere with the actual fabric that they used on their dress. So I'm just going to remove it because I don't want to change the texture of the dress. And there you have it. So without the texture, it would be like this. And with the added texture, it's like this. All in a few easy steps.